The Supreme Court of Canada has ruled against two men connected to the murder of an Edmonton teenager. 13-year-old Nina Cordepat was beaten, sexually assaulted, and then killed. Her murder 5 years ago this month shocked people across Canada. Linda Calvert joins me now live from Edmonton. The Supreme Court judges had a lot to wrestle with here. Linda, walk me through their decision-making process.
Well, you remember 5 years ago, 13-year-old Nina Cordepat was lured from the West Edmonton Mall to a remote golf course with the promise of a party. Instead, she was gang raped, stabbed, strangled, and beaten to death with a hammer. 5 people were charged and tried with her murder. The Supreme Court heard 2 of those cases today. Joseph Laboucan was charged with kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault, and first-degree murder. He was found guilty of all 3 charges and convicted, but at his sentencing, the judge said that he found that Laboucan had reason to be untruthful in his testimony, given everything that was at stake. So the Alberta Court of Appeal took a look at that, appealed it all the way to the Supreme Court, but today the Supreme Court said no, those remarks the judge made had no impact on this whatsoever. They have upheld his conviction. The other case, Michael Briscoe was also charged with kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault, and first-degree murder, but he told police that all he did was drive the car. He didn't know what the others were planning to do, and on that basis, he was acquitted. Again, the Alberta Court of Appeal took a look at this and said, in effect, given the circumstances of what happened the night of Nina's murder, there was no way he could have been ignorant of what was going on. In legal speak, that's called willful blindness. And today, the Supreme Court agreed with that concept of willful blindness as applied to this case. They've thrown out his acquittal, and Michael Briscoe will be going back for a new trial. You know,
Supreme Court decisions can have major ramifications. What would the impact be of this decision?
Well, there's sort of 2 impacts here, legal impact and a family impact. First, the legal impact. I'm told by legal experts that everybody in the legal community was very, very closely watching the Briscoe decision because of this concept of willful blindness. In the past, I'm told that it had primarily been applied in a very narrow sense, mostly to drug trafficking cases. So the accused would say, I didn't know I was carrying those drugs across the border, and the court would say, if you didn't know, you should have known. It's willful blindness. Well, the Supreme Court decision today applies that concept to a homicide case. So I'm told this now opens up that concept to change the legal game, apply this in a whole other range of cases. But then there's the impact on the family. Just a few moments ago, I spoke with Pecha Atkinson on the phone. This is Nina Cordepat's mother, and she says it's a really bittersweet day for them because although they're very happy, particularly that the court has thrown out Briscoe's acquittal, it all happened 5 years ago, so they have to relive these painful memories. And of course, they've got another trial to go through again, which brings back those memories again. So on the whole, they're happy with today's decision, but still pretty painful.
Thank you for the update, Linda.